Holy shizballs, my mind is blown. Hey everyone, so I'm about to build my first panel of Feather S2s with paste on the board. So this is going to be a board that goes into the oven. Up until now I've been working with double-sided tape and been placing parts, and I've got the panel working really well. I think it's pretty good. Obviously working with double-sided tape is very different to working with paste, because with double-sided tape, once the part hits the tape, it makes it stick in place, where with paste, parts can move. So I don't know if I've got my heights set exactly perfect for the different components. I might get some movement on the parts when it squishes it down. I don't know yet. I'm going to be running this at 60% speed. I'm not overly interested in how fast I can get it going right now, but it's more about accuracy. I'm pretty sure that this panel might be slightly offset, because I've noticed a discrepancy with all of my panels with the fiducials that GLC PCB have provided. They're in slightly different places, which is going to mess my data. So this will be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. A couple of things to note. I've not fully optimized this to run with symmetrical head pickups. It'll do it a couple of times, but you'll also see it running sometimes with just a single part being picked up from the 8 nozzles. Right now it's again not about optimization, it's about reliability. And unfortunately I just found out that when I close the lid, so when I keep the lid open like it is now, the machine won't run any faster than 20%. And to get the machine running faster than 20%, I have to close the lid. And I don't want to run it at 20% speed to show you, so I'm going to close the lid. Now the lid has got some tinted perspex on it. You will be able to see inside, but it won't be anywhere near as bright or as clear. Hopefully it'll still be good enough to see what's happening. I don't have 2 cameras, so I can't show you what's happening on the computer screen at the same time, but it's going to be much more interesting to watch this go. It may fail during the process, it may not, I don't know. The vibrating noise you can hear right now is the vibration feeder. If I was to turn that off, it actually makes almost no noise at all. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. Let's just get the show on the road. So when it starts up, you'll see that when the heads move over, it'll feed the board in, it'll do the fiducials, and then it'll start. Okay, let's close the lid. So you can still see inside. It's not fantastic, I'm sorry. I might have to find something I can wedge into the sensor of the door to fool it into thinking that the door is closed when it's open. I had a quick look and I couldn't find anything that fits in there. It's a kind of weird switch. Anyway, here we go. Fingers crossed I'll get something out of this. Now you immediately notice how quiet it is. It's incredible. You also see how fast it is at 60%. Okay, it's having trouble picking up my JST connector. Well, that's the end of that run. Oh well, knew there's going to be something. It's not sticking out far enough because there's another JST connector that's wedged in. So the JST connector is coming from the vibration feeder over there, and you can see that there's one sitting up, so the next one can't come out, so it keeps failing to pick it up. Let me fix this and I'll be able to run the board back in again and continue from where we're up to. Okay, I've made the nozzle go down an extra millimeter to hopefully nail it better. I've slowed down how fast the nozzle goes down to slow down the impact on it, and I've also adjusted the pick position just slightly to see if maybe the first one fell because it wasn't grabbing it exactly right. So hopefully this will now work. The board's been reloaded back in again, which is great. The system means I can just keep reloading the panel back in and then start from what board and part I want to, whenever I want to, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to start it up again at the JST and see what happens. So it redoes the fiducials. Okay, got it that time. Got one of them anyway. Okay, that's one board done. It's the compressor kicking in. Okay, got the JC again this time. Like, this is just worlds apart from the charm high. From the noise it makes. I mean, the only noise on this machine right now is the vibration feeder and the external power supplies I'm using for the hybrid feeders. If I turn the power supplies off, you know, turning the fans off and the vibration feeder, this machine is almost silent, which is incredible. Okay. To panel 3. We're already well into panel 3, I should say. Yep, and mispick then, I think. Got that time. So when you see the head slow down like that, when it's moving over the cameras, it means that it thinks it failed to pick up one of the parts. And then it'll go back and redo that part again. In this case, I think it might have been the flash. Got a bit of bounce then, so I think it pushed the JST down too far, and looks like it might have shifted. Okay. Just the part again. We got it again. definitely having trouble picking up the JSTs. So I'll have to keep tweaking that. I'm holding on the JST for 200 milliseconds before it picks it. It could just be I'm also using the wrong nozzle. Might need to use a larger nozzle. The nozzle size I'm using right now is technically the same size I was using on the Charmer High, which had no problem. But you know, this is a different machine. I might need to go up a size. I wish I could show you this with the door open. It looks way cooler. So remember, this is the first board I'm building. You're going to get to see it when I get to see it. I'm going to have to catch it at the other end. Get ready for that now. And we're done. We finished a whole board. It did this. Now that's the one that bounced. So yeah, I was expecting to see it like that. May have knocked a component, one of the caps. Wow, remember this is the very first panel I've run. I didn't notice I had a bit of missing paste over here on this resistor. It's also the first time I used my new stencil printer. So let's have a look at this. Wow, this is freaking fantastic. Okay, I'm missing a cap over here. I'm not sure why. Wow. I mean, look at the QFNs. Nailed. I mean, I've really not tweaked a lot on this You can see the buttons are sometimes sitting a little bit low, so it's obviously having trouble picking up the buttons. It could be the curved surface on the top of the button is causing a problem. But holy moly, definitely room for improvement, but I have to adjust some of the positions or some of the parts. I've got something over here happened. I don't know what happened there. Just notice that now. All the parts are the right way round. That could be why this didn't sit properly. Maybe that cap fell from the previous board, and then when this JST connector went down, it couldn't sit properly. Oh, sorry, you can't really see that. Apologise. There was a cap sitting right there. Snow 402 cap. So put that back in place. This really is outstanding placement for the very first board I ran after 24 hours of learning and setup. That is nuts. That is really nuts. Okay, so I'll just get a cap, just a, I'm not going to put that cap I took off back on, just in case it's not the right cap. So I need no 402.1 microfarad, which I've got right here. So I put this on, and this goes straight in the oven. Holy shizballs, I'm not even going to fix any of these components. You know, some of them are slightly off center, but most of them should just reflow fine. Like this flash here, obviously didn't detect the center of it properly. Maybe I might just move that one down. So there you go, 3 parts I had to fix on this board, and that's it. On my very first panel from the Neoden 8. Okay, it's going in the oven. My mind is blown. Holy shizbutts, look at this. So, sure, as I said, there's going to be a couple of components that maybe weren't placed perfectly. Bit of rotation on here during reflow because it probably wasn't nailed in the right spot. Got a couple of components here that need to just be hot aired a bit because again they might have been slightly off center. But look at this. First board. You know, I need to play with heights of components, placement heights. You know, how hard do I push down on the board? I know that some of my taller components, I was pushing down too hard. I could see a bit of flex on the board. You know, these are just things that I can keep improving over time and keep tweaking. But to get a first board out, a first panel out of the machine in 24 hours of starting to set up the panel, that is just nuts. But this is just fantastic. You know, to rework this whole panel to fix some of these components, I'm talking about maybe a minute, maybe a minute and a half to do it all. It'll probably take longer for the hot air gun to warm up than it would be for me, because all that requires is I just hover over the component with hot air and it'll reflow and fix itself, like this component right here. If I just gave that a bit of hot air now, it would just reflow and adjust itself, put itself back in the middle, and it'd be done. It'd be perfect. There's not one bridge. Wow. So there it is, folks. This is the results after 24 hours of using my Neoden 8. I mean, I've had it for 2 days, but I started setting up, loading in the file and setting up this board 24, okay, maybe 26 hours ago now. My mind is blown. How's that for a stark difference in quality? So, if anyone was thinking about buying a Neoden, or Neoden 8, and wanted to know how good or accurate it was, first board, no real tweaking of component placement. I'm sure I've got half of my heights wrong. You know, I've not tuned it for optimization, and it's already slightly faster and way better than the Charm High was. I am so happy, I can't begin to tell you.